All right, so it is August 16th, Magical Monday. Um, just a few of us here today, but that's okay. So tonight is a special request for the goddess Ishel, or sometimes we'll call her Ishel. So we're going to talk a little bit about her tonight, and we're going to do a meditation um, so we can meet her, which you could do anytime. So even if you're watching the replay, it'll still work for you. All right. So, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mary. We're coming to you from Higher Self in Traverse City, and I'm gonna plug in my mic, and we're gonna get started. Fun times, yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So, I'm gonna set my phone over here because I don't need it. Alrighty. So, it's a little different for me to. So I still want to face. I still want to look like I'm looking at whoever. Hello, people watching the replay. Pardon me, because I have dry skin and I have a bad habit of chewing on my lips.
Ditto.
So then, so you have dry skin, so you chew on your lips, which dries out your, well, dries out your lips. So yeah, it's never ending. So I just randomly do that. People ask me like, why are you wearing makeup? It's not that I'm wearing makeup. It's just I'm trying not to chew on my lips.
Me,
Yeah. Alrighty. So, depending on how you learned how to pronounce your name, some people say I shall or e shall. I feel like e shall is more correct. But I'm no judgment if you are used to pronouncing it I shall. So if you spell it, it's IX. And then the next word is CHEL. There are, so here's a little bit of background about her. So she's an ancient moon goddess. She reigned supreme throughout the Yucatan Peninsula in southern Mexico and as far south as El Salvador for about a millennium. And don't worry, like you can write notes, absolutely. But if you miss anything, I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. So if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, all the replays are there. Okay. And so she is called the Queen or the Mother or the White Lady and the Goddess of Becoming. And I thought, how perfect, because so last week we had the Lion's Gate and all about breaking down those barriers that are holding us back. And then we're stepping into our most awesome self, right? So let's talk to the goddess of becoming, right? Because what are we becoming? So perfect timing. So thank you for this request. All right. So she's married to the sun or the sun god. And there's a little story about that later here. I'll go into that. But she's fiercely independent. Nobody owns her. She's free to come and go as she chooses. She's a fertility goddess. So she helps make women fruitful, but also fertilizing the earth. She's a patroness of childbirth. So not only does she help for women to become pregnant, but also bringing those children into the world. And then she's also associated with healing and medicine. Being that she's a moon goddess, she's also associated with weaving. So we're going to talk about that more in just a little bit. So being with a moon goddess, there's the waning moon, the waxing moon, all the phases of the moon. So any moon goddess, honestly, any moon goddess would help you with being comfortable with all the phases of your life, or all the sides of life, if you want to think of it that way. And because she's a midwife goddess. She's also going to help you bring your creative ideas from just an idea, and birth it into the world. Yeah. Yeah. So any midwife goddess can help you with that. But obviously tonight, we're focusing on this particular one. So again, last week we were talking about breaking down these barriers that are holding us back from our wildest dreams. And so you can call upon this goddess to help you make those dreams come true. Right? Yeah, I know. All right. So, we talked about, and then rainbows. So I'm assuming because she is the wife of the sun god, that's her association with rainbows. Because being a moon goddess, there's not very many rainbows. You know what I mean? That's what I'm assuming. So she has a major shrine in a city I'm not going to even try to pronounce because I'm not going to say it properly. But again, I'm going to post all this in the Facebook group. And then there are small figurines of her that are placed beneath the beds of women that are in labor to help with the childbirth process. So if you're not looking to birth a human, but you are looking to birth a new idea, like a new business or a new whatever, right? You could, instead of placing it under the bed, you could have a picture of her even on your phone, and then just meditate on that. Or, if you are crafty and you want to even make your own figurine. So women were considered to be in danger of women that are giving birth. Women that are giving birth were considered to be in danger when there was a lunar eclipse. Well, if you think about it, because she's a moon goddess and the moon goes through its normal phases. But if you went into labor during a lunar eclipse, then people got worried because they thought, well, the child might be, maybe it's stillborn, maybe it would have deformities or something like that. That makes sense, because if there's a lunar eclipse, you can't see the moon, right? Yeah, that would be my, that makes sense. So I'm assuming that's right. I did research on the books that I have. There's some goddesses that, like Isis. Last week we talked about Isis. I could have talked for like 7 hours probably on Isis and only been halfway done. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't have as much information about her from books, that, you know what I mean? I like to go to books first as opposed to the internet, because you don't know. All right, so here we go. So she does guard against disease. And then again, let's talk about weaving. So she was believed to be the first deity on earth to have cloth. So she was able to employ the craft of weaving, and that's how she attracted the attention of the sun god. So when she, as the moon, goes across the night sky, she carries her loom sticks, and she uses them to protect her from jaguars. Huh. Yeah. Well, jaguars are not super, I wouldn't want to meet one in real life. I've met one in the upper world. Which I thought was interesting, because I think of jaguars as like on the earth, in the trees. I don't think of them as outer space. But yeah. So I know I didn't make that up when I did a shamanic journey to the upper world. I know I didn't make that up, because I would never think, jaguars in space. You know what I mean? And I thought that was pretty interesting. And so then I did a little research after that. And because you know how there's different astrology, you're right. So in the Mayan astrology, my birthday falls under Jaguar. So I don't know if that means anything or not. I don't know. But I thought, okay, well, you got my attention.
Just first Weaver. Reminds me of meat in the Egyptian pantheon.
And yes, and if you see, like, if you remember what her picture looks like, she's got her feet on the earth and she's got her hands on the earth and she's across the night sky. Yeah. So I find it utterly fascinating that all these ancient cultures have these similar deities, and there's no way that um, they communicated regularly. You know what I mean? Unless they were able to, like, unless you can um, travel from, okay, we're on this continent and then you know what I mean? But when there's all that ocean in between. Now, some people will say, I will say, there's some people that say that because the Tahitians went to what we now call Hawaii, and then apparently people from Hawaii made it all the way to what we now call California. And those teeny weeny little what we would essentially call it kayak today. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not very likely.
All the way to the ocean.
So, okay, and then as when the new world was being discovered, obviously people were here. It was not discovered, so I'm saying discovered with my air quotes. So when the people that were Catholic coming over, so under when there was that integration, so Chel became synchronized with the Virgin Mary. So that's probably why she got the name, like the White Lady. It probably depicted her in like white robes. Because Yamaya, if there's I have a statue of Yamaya, who's it's a goddess of the Yoruban people, and they were all out of the black version of Yamaya. I really, really wanted a Yamaya statue, and so they had the black version and the white version. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll order that. I swear to God, if you were to look at it, not know who it was, you would think, oh, it's the Virgin Mary, because of the way she's standing. You know what I mean? And the robes she's wearing. So I have a feeling that that's why she got the name the White Lady. They probably like changed her appearance a little bit and put her in white robes. You know what I mean? So I don't know that for a fact. That's just me guessing. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, she's also called the snake goddess, which, if you think about it, like the moon, water, childbirth, weaving, snakes are, oh, we have somebody here. Woohoo!
Hello.
Hello. Alrighty, so hello. Okay.
Hi.
I thought I will pick this up because I'm going to unplug my. I'm unplugging my microphone so we can hear you if you so desire to be heard.
Sorry about the background noise.
You good?
Yeah, we're not hearing anything.
That's good because I have rodents behind me.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I'm like, what is behind you? Awesome. Is that the cute little fairy dog I met?
Yep.
Yay! Hello, sweetie. Hi. Hi. Yes, look at you. Hello.
He's got a friend in there too now.
Ah, okay, good. That's good. So sorry, we did we're about done with the explanation portion of tonight, but we are going to do a meditation.
Okay.
So, but are you already a member of the Facebook group?
Yes, I just
Oh,
joined.
Okay,
I just got accepted.
that's I wondered. I'm like, because I did just before tonight. I was like, I better check and see if anybody's asked to join. So super. So all the replays will be there from the previous, and then tonight if you want to just catch like the beginning of this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna plug my mic back in. Okay. That's the only bad thing about having this mic is that if somebody's talking, I can't hear them. So it's all right. So just a quick catch up. So tonight's focus is the goddess Chel, and I'm going to post all this in the Facebook group as well. She is a moon goddess of the Mayans, and she's married to the sun. She's independent. She's a fertility goddess, fertility for humans as well as the earth. So she's the patroness of childbirth, healing, medicine, weaving, the moon, the phases of the moon. She's a midwife of not just giving birth to humans or animals, but also a midwife to making your dreams a reality. So instead of just a thought or an idea, now it's a physical thing. Rainbows. Talks about that. Talk about that. Okay. And then she got integrated with the Virgin Mary after a while. So here we go. So the snake goddess, water, moon, childbirth, weaving. So here's a story. I'll just tell it to you. So she got the attention of the sun god, and they were dating, but her grandfather, all ticked off. And this is a weird story, but I'm going to share it anyway. So her grandfather got mad, threw lightning at her, and killed her. But somehow or another, dragonflies stayed with her for 13 days, which I find that interesting because there's 13 moons in a year. Not on our calendar. We have 12 months, but there's actually 13 months in a year. So I'm wondering if 13 days, if there's a correlation there. And then she was in a whole and alive. How the dragonflies did that, I'm not sure. And then the sun god got mad, and he was all jealous and thinking that she was dating somebody else. So I know I don't like this story, and I feel like it was written from a more male perspective because the grandfather gets mad at her, and then the boyfriend gets mad at her. So she found sanctuary with a vulture god. And we think of vultures as kind of icky, but I mean, they do serve a purpose. If there's carrion or something, they do take care of it. So she had all this drama. She left the drama, found sanctuary with this particular god. And so she got tired of all this nonsense, and she went to spend her time in the night, and then making herself invisible to the sun god. So I have a feeling this is more like kind of like because the sun follows the moon, who follows the sun, who follows the moon. So I feel like that's where the story is going. And so it's the story. It's I don't know, but it's from one of my books at home. And I just
The stories are very
It's
nice.
what's that?
The stories are never nice.
Yeah, all these stories from around the globe, like you read stories about Greek goddesses, and again, I feel like they're more written from the male perspective. So take that story with a grain of salt. I did want to include it just because it's information out there, that's been passed down. So this is not a goddess that I have worked with. Um, I haven't like had conversations with her or anything like that. So I cannot tell you from my own personal experience anything, but tonight we are going to do a journey. So depending on your perspective, you could use the term pathworking, you can use the term guided meditation, you can use the term shamanic journey. So basically what will happen is, and this is great if you have trouble meditating, if you sit there and you close your eyes, you're like, and I haven't taken out the trash yet. Okay, gotta meditate, gotta meditate. What am I gonna eat for lunch tomorrow? Okay, but I need to meditate. Like if your brain is just blah, 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 yeah. So the nice thing about guided meditations is you're listening. So it's more, I feel like more of an active meditation, but you're not in control of it. You're listening to a story essentially, and you get to see how it unfolds for you. Okay. So and it's interesting because each person is going to be going on the same you get the same prompts, but you'll have your own unique experience. And so if that happens, don't be like, oh, I did it wrong. You didn't do it wrong. You're supposed to have your own experience, and you're supposed to have your own experience. You're supposed to get your own message. So if you like sitting, if you're joining from like a desktop, and you've got your headphones on. So if you're okay with that, if you're okay with sitting, since you're here, if you feel more comfortable like sitting on the floor or laying down, that's okay. Yeah, so we have pillows. So I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Now for me, I personally like to sit with my back, even if I'm sitting on the ground, I like to sit with my back straight up. Because if I lay down, I'm gone. I am.
One day.
I am. So, and if I'm having trouble sleeping, I will start to meditate just so I can like calm down and relax. Like if you ever had a bad dream or something, and you need to like chill out so you can go back to sleep. So I do it sitting up, but you have to do what works for you. So do you want blankets? Do you want pillows? Do you want everything? Let's just make sure they don't attack you. Okay.
It'll be a 10 by 12.
All right. And then do you want a blanket?
No.
Okay. Because when you're laying down, it can feel chilly, even though it's like a warm summer day. Okay. All righty. Do you want the big light off?
Either or.
Here, how about
I roll with it.
okay. That's still good because we have enough lighting. Here, so let me just check. Yeah, that's enough lighting. Okay. All right. Okay. So that way there's enough lighting for the replay, but so it's not like completely dark. All right. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready. All right. So we're going to start off with some square breathing, and this is going to come in handy pretty much anytime you ever want to relax, you're having a stressful moment. So square breathing, if you're not familiar with it, it gets its name because you'll here, I'll make a I'll make a square. It's not really a square, it's not a good square. Yes, There, that's a square. All right, so you're gonna inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold it for 4. And when you're first doing it, if you're having trouble or if you're like really upset, if you're having like anxiety, and if you can only do 2, it's better to do 2 than nothing. Especially if you're feeling anxious and you're like this, like it's a good way to like get your breathing back to normal. So if you can do 4, great. And if you practice this, then you can get to the point where you can do 8, right? Like inhale for 8, hold for 8, exhale for 8, hold for 8. Well, let's just do 4. So go ahead. If you want to, you can close your eyes if that helps you. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, exhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4. Last time. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. And then I usually at that point do like a bit, like a nice easy peasy breath, maybe wiggle my head a little bit. And if you need to, you can roll your shoulders and just get comfy. And keep your eyes closed. And you find yourself in the middle of your room. And you stand up and you walk out through your house, right out the front door. You take a few steps, and there is a winding path in front of you. Go ahead and take this path. And in the distance, you can see a hill, and this path is leading you to this hill as it winds back and forth. You're walking closer to the hill. And as you get even closer, you see that there is a rainbow, and the end of that rainbow is at smack dab at the very top of that hill. And as you walk, you notice the dew glistening, the raindrops from the storm that had just passed, glistening on the leaves, on the grass, on the spider webs, like little drops of diamonds as the sunlight catches them. And now you find yourself at the bottom of the hill. Take the winding path up the hill. Noticing its serpentine form. You can still see the rainbow and hear the chirping of the birds. And here you are at the top of the hill. You look around and you can see so far. And this rainbow at the top of the hill is no ordinary rainbow. It does not disappear as you get closer. In fact, it almost seems like something you could reach out and touch. So take a few steps towards that rainbow. Make the intention that you're going to use this rainbow as a bridge to the other world. And on the other side is Chel. So step into this rainbow and let it carry you to where you need to go. Notice anything along the way. What do you see in the sky? Are there twinkling stars? Are there clouds? And you're sliding along, almost like a slide in a playground. And you gently land on the other side. Take a look around. What do you see? What do you hear? Take a few steps forward and you notice the land that you left, it was daytime, but now it is night. But you can still see enough to walk around as you're guided by the light of the full moon. And you still hear birds, but these birds sound different. And you know that you are safe. And that nothing can harm you. You see the rich, lush foliage. There is a slight breeze, and the leaves sway slightly. And there's another path. So take this winding path, this serpentine path. And as the trees give way, you find yourself in a small clearing, all lit up by the light of the moon. So, whatever question you have, form that in your heart now. And when you are ready, call upon the goddess, Chel. 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 And you hear some rustling. Again, you are not afraid. You are perfectly safe and nothing can harm you. And you hear footsteps as they come closer. And across from the clearing enters the most beautiful goddess that you have ever seen. The light of the moon lights up her skin and twinkles her eyes. She lifts her arms to you. She is your mother and you are her child. And she embraces you with the warmest of hugs. So this is your moment to ask her any questions. Ask her for her wisdom, for her guidance, ideas, suggestions. And so you can conclude your conversation with Chel. If you have more questions for her later that you did not think of at this time, do not worry. Or you can come back to her in this place at any time that you so desire. In fact, she would probably enjoy that conversation with you. So at this time, Chel has a gift for you. She presents to you the gift, and she may have a further message for you. Chel embraces you one more time. And you say your goodbyes. And she walks back into the forest. So you turn and go back the way that you came, out of the clearing. Back through the winding path, through the foliage, through the trees. You were guided by the lights of the full moon. The forest clears, and you find yourself again back at that rainbow. With gratitude in your heart for everything that you shared with Chel, you step into the rainbow, riding it like a roller coaster or a slide, all the way up to the very tippy top, noticing the sky. What do you see? What do you hear? And then back down on the other side. Until you gently land softly at the top of the hill. And your eyes need to adjust because you were just in the darkness, only lit by the light of the moon, and it is a bright sunny day again. Birds are chirping. You even see rabbits hopping. Knowing that you can return to this rainbow at any time, you walk back down the hill. All the way to the bottom of the hill, back down the winding path, to your home. Some time has passed. You've noticed that the grass is not as wet, starting to dry. And you're all the way back to your front door. Walk through your front door. Back through your house. Sit back down. And you find yourself exactly where you started from. So coming back now, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, maybe moving your head side to side, rolling your shoulders. And when you are ready, open your eyes. How do you feel? All right. My mic. Would you like to share? You don't have to, but I always love when people share their experiences.
I saw, to me, she was like a darker skinned woman
Mm-hmm.
with silver eyes and silver hair.
No, that's beautiful.
And the gift she gave me was this love, this light of pure love and warmth.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it was her way of saying to love myself and to share it with the world.
Oh, I like that.
That the world needs more love in it. I don't.
Goodness, yeah.
It's a gift that she gave to me to share with everyone. That
That's, yeah.
when I came back over the hill, I just released it.
Ooh, very nice.
Because that's what I had this feeling in my head to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is this light was meant to be released.
I like that. Yeah, and being that she is a moon goddess, you felt like gathering that moonlight of love and releasing it for like every full moon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sending that out. Yeah, I like that.
And it's like pure love in that light.
Mm-hmm.
That's meant to go everywhere, reach everyone and everything.
I like that. That's beautiful.
And hopefully there are people open to it because there's a lot of people who need it.
Yeah, yeah, and so I mean it's kind of like Reiki if you're familiar with Reiki. So pure love energy can do no harm, just like Reiki can do no harm. So if you were to send it out and if someone's not open to it, they just don't receive it.
Yeah.
Honestly, so it's gonna reach the people that it needs to reach.
Yeah.
Because light energy, regardless if it's physical light energy or metaphysical light energy, it just keeps going. It just travels at the speed of light, literally.
Yeah.
It's going to hit well, I don't want to say hit, reach. That's the right word. It's going to reach the people that it needs to reach.
Yeah, she gave it to me to give to the world. That's
It's beautiful.
essentially the feeling that I got from it. So while it was a gift to me, it wasn't really meant for me.
True, yeah. But you did say that it was for you to love yourself more. And we could all do that.
Yep.
The way we talk to ourselves, we would never the way, right? Like,
Yes.
if you were to talk to me that way, I'd be like, okay, maybe she had a bad day. Like, you know what I mean? But if you kept doing it, then I would be like, I'm never talking to her again. She's awful. But the way we talk to ourselves, we, you know what I mean?
Oh
So,
yeah, I know.
so, so keep some of that self love for you. You know what I mean? But yes,
Hmm.
by all means. Did she say anything else to you
As
or
far as the
anything?
questions I
Yeah.
asked, she basically gave me answers I kind of already knew that I
Okay.
didn't like, but I kind of have to face them.
Okay. Okay. But that's
Um,
confirmation that you're on the right.
yeah,
Yeah.
family stuff, the whole
Okay.
wonderful family drama. Don't we love family?
Mhm.
But at the end, she told me to be strong, my child.
Okay. All right.
And
Anything
I know I'm gonna need it.
and anytime you ever would need an extra dose, you can always go back to her.
I
So
may
I
go
mean,
back just to talk to her.
yes, yes. So now that you know the path to get there,
Yep.
you can go there at any time. If you're not um um if you're not as comfortable doing it on your own, I mean, you could always just use the replay to get you there.
Hmm.
I mean, but once you do it enough times, just like anything else with
Then it
practice,
becomes pattern.
yes, yep, and you can do it as often as you need to. Yeah. Well, good. Anything else you wanted to share?
Not that I could think of.
Okay.
Uh, the stars are beautiful.
Oh, okay.
And on the way back, I saw both the moon and the sun in the sky.
Ooh, pretty.
I didn't even think that was possible, but hey,
Well,
it is the
people
metaphysical we're talking about.
correct. And I will say sometimes you do get lucky in the day. You will see the moon in the sky because it is there. We usually can't see it.
It's
Sometimes
like
you get lucky though.
half the
Yeah.
sky was night and half the sky was day.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. That would be like if you paint that. I think that would be a beautiful painting.
I'm not very skilled at painting.
Okay. Okay. It just looks really pretty in my head.
I've seen some paintings like that online, so, and
Okay.
it is beautiful.
There's a bug. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna plug the mic back in.
Mhm.
All right. Do we have? I am gonna play it back up. There. Just because it is getting closer to sunset. That's better for light. Okay. What do you want to share?
I almost this vintage was kind of perfect. Where I live on the peninsula,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like dips onto the driveway.
Okay.
Literally, so the road is really
Oh.
cherry trees. So literally, like I was like, this is kind of perfect. That's really cool. But I was pulled from home, and I skyrocketed back to my other home in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And to running down the pathway, she goes, "It took you long enough to get here."
Oh.
Like,
So she's got some sass.
apparently, she goes, "It took a lot to get here. I've been waiting." But she told me what I thought was correct for me. She told me to go home. I want to keep digging into my history. I have to go home.
Hmm. Makes sense.
And she goes, "Besides, don't you want to say goodbye to them?" No.
Hmm.
And she told me, "Don't forget, they don't leave. Those two are not leaving you. They're gonna stay with you."
Mm.
And by those two, I want to say my grandfather, because
Oh, well, you're supposed to. When you're a grandkid, you're supposed to be spoiled. It's like a law.
But both my grandfathers told the rest of our cousins, like,
Mhm.
no, me and my little brother, they're like, no, these two are my favorites right here.
Oh,
And
okay.
my mom's dad
Hmm.
was here when I was born.
Uh-huh.
Another reason I'm the favorite.
Mm.
Because he was like, man, still if you don't wait half an hour, it should have been my birthday present. But her gift to me was confidence.
Oh, nice.
Because you're doing fine. Stop doubting yourself so much. You're doing fine.
Awesome. And did you see anything while as you were riding the rainbow?
Just constellations like flowing by.
Oh,
Because I
wow.
was apparently going really fast and the wind was blowing like
Ooh.
into me. So I was like, wee!
Very cool.
It's gonna be an interesting adventure.
Yeah. And I mean, you can still stay in touch when that happens. You know, when you can still I mean, you can post in the Facebook group like, updates.
Like, look what I'm doing.
And with Zoom, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, there's a time difference, so maybe what's that?
No.
Just an hour. Okay.
Yeah, they're not time.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. All right. Yeah.
Problem is when.
Well, if you set that intention and just ask for, so you can always ask your spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, beloved ancestors. You don't always want to ask every ancestor because there's always some not nice ancestor, you know what I mean? But if you specify my beloved ancestors or a specific ancestor, for their ideas, suggestions, wisdom, guidance, and you'll get your message. You just have to be open as to how you receive it. All right. So I know this is going to be a lot lighter Magical Monday compared to last Magical Monday because there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot to cover. So this one's a more easy, laid back kind of Magical Monday. Oh, no, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Well, just want to, yeah. So let me just check in. Do you have any questions or comments or
This
anything?
was just my first time attending, so
Yeah, so at your leisure, I mean, you can always go through the previous Magical Mondays. Um, I would suggest, because we're still, coming off of that Lionsgate energy, probably that would be the first one. So last Mondays. And then you'll see in the group there's like everything I covered is posted there. You can do with that what you want. And have that information. So and these dovetail nicely. So last week was all about breaking through the barriers, whether they're other people's barriers or the ones that we've created ourselves,
mhm.
breaking them down, breaking through those cages, and stepping into our wildest dreams. And so then tonight, making that contact with that goddess who can help us birth our dreams into reality.
Okay.
And then now you have that ally that you can, if you have the time to um, go out your door and up the hill and over the rainbow, you know what I mean, and and go see her. But you don't have the time and you just want to like throw that out there, like, hey, Chel, I I'm asking, for your wisdom in this situation with this person, with this whatever. I'd just be open to getting a message, and maybe you'll see a pattern in like a weaving pattern, or maybe you'll see a vulture, or maybe
Hmm.
you'll see that rainbow. You know what I mean? Like you might be like, oh, yep, that's her.
Got to keep your eyes open though, because
Yes,
if you're not actually open to the message,
yes,
just because you
exactly.
ask doesn't gonna make a difference.
Yep, yeah. So if you um it's like some people will say, well, I'll only accept messages that are 1111. Yeah, some people will say that. And I'm like, well, that's your choice. You have that choice. But the thing is 1111 only happens twice a day. And so you'd have to like see it on a license plate, or like maybe your coffee shop bill is 11. You know what I mean? Like it would
Yeah.
have. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just so much harder for your angels. And your angels are like,
Come on, man.
yeah, like work with me here.
Like
So
the
yeah,
other day, I was walking out to the camper in my yard and I see a crow in the tree.
mm-hmm.
That right there could have been a message.
Yeah. When I see a crow, and I do see a lot of them on my drive to work, I there's the Celtic goddess, the Morgan, and then there's also Odin of the Norse. But also Hecate is associated with crows too. So it just really depends on do you lean more towards like the Greek or the Celt or the Norse, or I just say hi to all of them. I'm like,
Like,
just
hey, out there.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Morgan or Odin or Hecate.
That's
you
hi to
know,
whoever is listening at this exact
yes.
moment.
Now I will say if I see two, I do say, okay, hi Odin. If it's three, I think of the Morgan because she's a triple goddess. But if there's one or a bunch, then I say hi to all of them. Just to acknowledge them. So yeah. And I will say this morning was on my drive, I got to see an eagle and yeah, and a blue heron. Yeah. And what's weird is last night I saw blue heron. So I'm pretty sure it's the same blue heron. But I'm like, holy wow. Somebody's trying to tell me something. So I need to do my research and see like what are the universal themes of eagle, blue heron. And if I'm still like, oh, I'm not sure, then I'll just go to the source. And I'll just do a journey like we did this journey and go to eagle and heron and be like, okay, I'm listening. What are you trying to tell me? Because I'm not sure. But yeah, those are pretty, I think, major signs. So
You
I feel
just
like
got to
Jeff,
be open to them. That's
yeah,
all.
I feel like Jeff Foxworthy. If I don't know if either of you even know who Jeff Foxworthy is.
I
Okay,
sort of do. I just don't know him very well.
okay, a comedian, and he was famous for "Here's your sign." Um, so I feel like that's just a cute, when you get a sign, you're like, and here's your sign. So yeah, you're just too young. You don't
Sadly, they can't all just slap you in the face, though.
Yeah.
I said all. Some of them do, and sometimes you're just not, aware enough to realize it.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like we're good to conclude for the evening. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you for joining. I'm so happy. And then, yeah, I won't post this until probably tomorrow night in the Facebook group.
Mhm.
Because I need to get home and take care of my animals.
Trust me, I know that feeling. 4
Okay.
dogs, 2 prairie dogs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, so in the meantime, if you have the time, you can catch up on the Lionsgate from last week.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. All right. And we shall meet again next Monday.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oops, wrong button. No, that was the right button. Right button. Okay, good night for real.